Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Frozen. Just to clarify, I'm talking about the one from 2010, written and directed by Adam Green. I am not talking about the Disney movie Frozen from 2013, but who knows? I might review that movie one day as well. I've never seen it. Animated Disney movie slap, so maybe I'll have to watch that too. There's like a bunch of sequels too. It's got that beautiful song "Let It Go" that's a hit. It's a fantastic song. But anyways, we're talking about Frozen from 2010, written and directed by Adam Green. And some viewers may already know this, but I'm a pretty darn big Adam Green fan. I've seen all the Hatchet films. I've watched his TV show Holliston. I dig his work. But I've never before seen Frozen. This was the first time watch, and I'm telling you what, I thought this movie was absolutely great. And I don't know, it's too early to tell. Like, I'm not comparing my enjoyment like of this compared to the Hatchet films, but I think out of all the Adam Green films that I've seen, like comparing this to all the Hatchet films, I think out of all the films that I've seen of his, this is by far the best from a technical aspect. The story is great. Just the overall movie is it's the best Adam Green movie I've seen so far. So yeah, this was really good. I was really pleasantly surprised with this. I've been wanting to see it for a while, but I just never got around to watching it. But I'm glad I watched it because this was fantastic. Perfect movie to watch in the dead of winter. Like, it's been, I live in Michigan and it's been mad cold. It's been mad brick, yo. That's what New Yorkers say. But no, I'm from Michigan, so I don't say that. But I just say it's been mad cold. So yeah, like last week it was like in the negatives. My car, just like the battery went out. My car, like I had to get a new battery. It was a whole deal. I was like Ubering to work. It was cold, and it's still cold. It's like 20 degrees for Michiganders. Like, that's good. Like I like last week it was like, negative 10 degrees, and then this week it's 20. I'm like, oh, it's warm. I'll rock a tank top. I'll walk around in flip-flops if it's 20 degrees, because Michigan fools, we're like crazy like that. It's like mad cold over here. It's like the Arctic up over here. So you already know it gets a little crazy in Michigan. But anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling about the cold. But yeah, this is a great movie to watch in the dead of winter. So there you go. But anyways, I'm gonna jump into a plot summary before I blabber on for too long. So the movie centers around three young people. Joe and Dan are buddies, and Dan brings his girlfriend along, Parker. Basically, Parker is new to skiing. Dan and Joe, they always go skiing. They always do this ski trip. And, Parker, she's not really well versed with skiing. She has to hit the bunny hill. So one day when they're all skiing, Joe is a little bit upset that, because he had to stick to the bunny hill all day because Parker is a newbie, and he's like, man, I didn't even get to get any real runs in. I'm trying to get like a legit run in. I'm trying to hit double black diamond. He didn't say double black diamond, but basically that's like ski terminology. Like black diamonds, like that's like an intense hill. Double black diamonds, like very intense. So yeah, he was trying to do some real skiing, and they were about to close the mountain down because it was getting late and there's supposed to be the storm coming. But they all talk the chairlift operator into letting them do one more run, and while they're going up the chairlift operator has to dip. There's some whole scheduling conflict with his schedule, and he was trying to get some time off. So he dips, and he gets his coworker to watch the mountain, and his coworker just thinks that, oh, they I think they went down. I think that was them over there. So I'm just gonna turn off the chairlift, and the trio is stuck on the chairlift. They think it's just gonna be a couple minutes because earlier, when they were skiing, the chairlift was shut down for a little bit, and it started running again. But yeah, basically, after like a little bit, they're like, okay, it seems like the chairlift is not gonna start running again. We're stranded, and due to this weather, the ski resort is closed for 5 days. Like, we're stranded, we're stuck, we could die up here. So for the rest of the movie, they're trying to figure out how to escape the chairlift. They're fighting off, frostbite, starvation. There's packs of wolves that they have to face up against. They're just trying to, they're just trying to survive this cold endeavor up high. Like, there's no easy way out, and they're trying to escape, survive, do what they have to do. So that's a basic plot summary. For my first point that I want to get into is, I have had this in the back of my mind that I want to see this movie because, like I said, I'm a big Adam Green fan. But I haven't checked it out for the longest time because whenever I look into it or I watch the trailer, I'm just like, you know what? I don't know if I really want to sit down and watch this. They're on a chairlift the entire time. I'm like, is it gonna get boring? Is it gonna be dull? I'm like, even though it's a really unique premise, I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch 90 minutes of just 3 people on a chairlift. But after watching the movie, this movie, it's throughout the whole runtime, it's entertaining, it's thrilling. I was at the edge of my seat. Well, actually, I was like laying down in bed, but you know what I mean. Like, I was metaphorically on the edge of my seat. Like, I was just like, I couldn't look away. Like, I was so invested in the story, and I was so just curious to see what would happen next. I just had this morbid curiosity, and of course, I was like rooting on the characters, and I wanted them to survive. So that's like a testament to Adam Green's skill as a writer and director. Like, yo, you made a movie with just 3 people on a chairlift the whole movie, and it's entertaining. How do you do that? Like, if you were to, it's hard to, like, when it's like just one location like that to make an entertaining movie. Like, if someone's trapped in an elevator the whole movie or on a chairlift the whole movie, you're like, okay, this is gonna get stale, this is gonna get dull, this is just gonna be boring at one point. But he does the impossible. He made a movie about a few people on a chairlift, and it was edge of your seat, entertaining. You couldn't look away. So yeah, this movie was a gosh darn thrill ride. Like, I was so into it. Like, there was not one boring point of the movie. I watch so many movies, and it's like, there's a good part here, there's a good part there, but then there's just these lulls. Like, the movie kind of ebbs and flows where, it'll have like a peak, and then it'll like dip down, and it'll just be like a valley, and it's just like, okay, it's like gonna be boring for 20 minutes until there's something exciting again. But this movie was exciting throughout. Like, I was entertained. It did its job. So shouts out Adam Green, he killed it. Something else that was kind of refreshing about this movie is, it played on real fears. I grew up skiing. Eventually, when I got like a little bit older, I was more into snowboarding. But basically, I grew up skiing and snowboarding. I haven't done it in years. Like, I don't even think, yeah, I've never skied or snowboarded as an adult. It's like nothing, it's like something that I didn't really like carry on. But like as a kid, like with my family, it was a big thing. We would always ski. We would go up north skiing. There were some local spots we would go. Like, it was so fun. I loved it. But since I was little, like since I first started skiing, I was always extremely scared of chairlifts. They freaked me out. Like a lot of chairlifts don't even have that safety bar, but whenever they had the safety bar, I'd be hugging that thing for dear life. I was always freaked out. I was like, what if we get stuck up here? What if I fall? Because those things, they're not like they're not built the best. Like a lot of them are old and they're kind of like wobbly, and I don't know. Like I've always, that's something that's always freaked me out because it's not like, I mean, roller coasters scare me too. Like I'd be like, what happens if like the safety bar comes off or whatever? So it's like a real fear like that. Like I'm scared of elevators. Like whenever I ride in an elevator, I'm like, what if this thing falls down? Or if I'm in a roller coaster, like I have it in the back of my mind, like what if the safety bar doesn't work? Or what if we get stuck or whatever? Like I've always had that fear of chairlifts because I hate heights. I can't stand them. I completely hate them. So I've always been scared of chairlifts, and I just think it played on a real fear, and I like how this movie is grounded. It's based in reality. Something that's great about the horror genre, and like I feel like horror and sci-fi. Well, I mean, sci-fi is always really fantastical, but horror, it can be grounded and realistic, but horror is one of those genres where you can go anywhere with it. Like that's the fun of the genre, is it can be so fantastical and so otherworldly, and just it doesn't have to be realistic, and that's what's fun about it. Like the whole make believe. Like I love stuff like Friday the 13th Part 6, where Jason is a zombie and he's getting resurrected by lightning, and I love so many like creature features and monster movies, and I love that stuff. I love that it gets your imagination going. It's like stuff like some movies will have like magic, and they'll have I don't know, just fantastical elements, and that's what's awesome about the horror genre. So a lot of horror movies go like crazy with it, and they're just so unrealistic. So you don't see a lot of grounded, realistic horror movies as much. So that made this refreshing as well. And I don't know, I feel like that almost made it more scary because when you're watching a extremely fictional horror movie that can never happen in real life, it's, even though like it might be entertaining, it might not be actually scary, because you're like, well, this is a scary premise, but this would never happen to me. Like this is something that could happen to you, and it's like I said, it's a fear I've had. I've always been scared of chairlifts, so the fact that it's grounded and it plays on real fears adds to the scare factor. And I'm telling you what, I'm like an avid horror fan. I'm obsessed with horror movies. I watch them on repeat. I watch them constantly. So, I don't really get scared by them. I was legit scared by this movie. Like, I'm a 27-year-old man. I've been watching horror movies since forevs, and I'm a grown dude. I got scared by a movie. Like that was awesome, because it's like if you're watching, if you're like a longtime horror fan, nothing really scares you, nothing really shocks you. So you kind of want to feel like that initial feel, like when you're like a little kid watching, John Carpenter's Halloween, and you're like, scared. Like you get that feeling like you're on a roller coaster. Like you're like, and after you're like, you know, you gotta shut all your blinds and you're like scared to go in the basement. Like that feeling makes you feel alive. Like it's like an adrenaline rush. It's just, I don't know. It's a good feeling. It's hard to put it into words, but I got that feeling from this. Like my heart was pumping. I was just like, I don't know. It made me feel alive. I felt good. Like it was, I actually got scared by a horror movie. As, you know, I'm an old crusty guy, you know, and I'm not some little kid. You know, I got Roth IRA, I got 401k. No, I don't have 401k. I got Roth IRA. I got money market mutual, blah blah blah. I got responsibilities. I got 8 kids. I'm just kidding. I don't have any kids. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is, you know, not a lot of stuff shocks me. I've seen it all, you know. Nothing excites me. This excited me. So, shouts out Adam Green once again. Maybe we'll meet one day. Maybe you come to a horror convention. Maybe we'll become friends. I don't know. Hopefully, that'd be cool. But anyways, moving on. Talking about the concept. I'm not saying like I did talk about the concept, but now I'm going to talk about the concept. I feel like the concept, how many times can I say the. So, the concept was extremely original. I mean, point blank period, no one has made a movie like this before, and I don't know why no one else did this. Like I said, it's a very real fear, but this movie's completely original. No, like before this movie, it was never done before. I don't even know if it's been done after. So, you know, so many movies are just like a rip-off of this, or, you know, like they're so formulaic. It's like that saying like, yeah, you know, copy the homework but change it a little bit. That's how movies are. Like, oh well, this killer has a different mask, or he has a different weapon, or it's a different setting. But it's like, if you take that away, it's pretty much the same thing. This movie is not like another movie. Like, this movie is completely original. It's a completely original concept. And I'm going to be straight up honest, I think this is a genius premise. I think this is a genius idea for a horror movie. Like, I do. So, yeah, once again, I got to give props to Adam Green, because, I don't know, it's not often that you see stuff that's this original. Like I said, everything, even though I do like stuff that's formulaic, I like this because I like that. I like Friday the 13th because I like Halloween. You know, I like stuff that's why I like sequels, because it's like, well, I liked the first movie, let me get more of that. You know, so I'm not hating on stuff that's unoriginal, but you don't see original stuff a lot, especially nowadays. Like, we've seen it all. You know, this movie was original. So, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. And then I just have one last. Sorry, excuse me for the sniffling. I'm still sick. I've been like sick like the whole winter. Like I'm such a unhealthy person. I need to like I need to get my life together. But anyways, my last point that I want to talk about is, you know, something that was so scary about this movie is the characters. They were legitly just stuck between a rock and a hard place. There were absolutely no good options for them to escape and survive. It's okay. Here are your options. Stay on the chairlift. Either, you know, starve to death, freeze to death up there. Okay, jump down from the chairlift, snap both of your legs, pretty much be immobile. You can't move. You're stuck, and then potentially get eaten by wolves. And then if you want to climb the cable, your hands are going to be completely ripped to shreds. And then once you get down, you're probably going to get eaten by wolves. So it's like, they had to try some of these options, but it's like none of these options are good options. Like, I was just thinking throughout the whole movie, I'm like, even though it is a life or death situation, like, I'm such a wimp. I don't know if I would have the balls to like jump from the chairlift or to climb the cable like that. Like I said, I'm deathly afraid of heights, so they were like, that's what was really scary about this movie. They just had no good options, and all of the options pretty much like revolved around them hurting themselves really bad. And it kind of, like, what I was thinking in my head, what it kind of reminded me of is in the first Saw, when the guy has to cut his foot off in order to like escape and survive. Like, that's like the option. Like, those are the cards that they were dealt in this. It's like, to if you want to survive, you have to jump down and break both of your legs and snap both of your legs just for a chance to survive. But you're probably still gonna die. And it's like, okay, you're gonna have to rip your hands to shreds. Your hands are gonna be completely effed, and you're probably gonna get bitten by wolves a lot. But you might survive. Like, you're gonna have to endure horrific situations and great bodily harm just to make it out of this alive. And you might not even make it out of it alive. You have like maybe a, I don't know, 30% chance, if that. So yeah, I really, like, that really added to the scare factor. The fact that they were just completely effed. There were no real good options. They just had to pick between a plethora of bad options. So yeah, it was that sense of like dread, like, we're effed, like, our life is over, like, we're done, like, we're gonna just die a horrific, horrible death, no one's gonna find us. Like, it was just, you felt that sense of dread. Like, it was just, ooh, it was bleak for these individuals. But anyways, that's the last point that I keep like adjusting my little bracelets and stuff, I don't know, but yeah, anyways, that was the last point I wanted to say. In terms of a recommendation, I would absolutely, positively recommend Frozen. It's free on Tubi. It's the dead of winter right now. It's the perfect time to watch it. Get cozy, you know, throw on a blanket, throw on a Snuggie, get a hot chocolate, get a hot coffee, whatever, and watch Frozen. It's a great time. Adam Green, shouts out Adam Green. He absolutely killed it. He's the man. So yeah, basically, that's been my recommendation, and that has been my review of Frozen. Thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.